So this week in Deep Brew, we're talking about us.
It's so important that we as women deal with our own finances.
And let's not forget to mention women in STEM.
But there's still a lot more to do.
Max Verstappen completing podium in second.
UK mosque set ablaze. Let's go.
Hiya and welcome back to episode number 5 of Chai and Espresso. I am Zena. This is Francesca, your host for this week.
And yes, welcome back, and we cannot wait to give you the headlines of the week with the funny news and also a deep brew on women. So let's start with the headlines of the week. As usual, she chose three headlines. I chose other three. Let's see what's brewing today. Let's go.
French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu resigns after less than a month in office. Lecornu resigned on October 6, 2025, just 14 hours after appointing his cabinet. His brief tenure, lasting only 27 days, was marred by political fighting and resistance from both allies and opposition. This marks the shortest serving prime minister in modern French history.
Israel says it has deported Greta Thunberg and 170 others detained when a flotilla trying to deliver aid to Gaza was intercepted by Israeli forces last week. There has been also indirect talks between Israel and Hamas, which are set to begin today in Egypt. It is the closest both sides have come to a deal since the war began.
Libyan National Army offers to assist UK with migrant crisis. The Libyan National Army has proposed collaboration with the UK to address the escalating migrant crisis. Military leaders aim to curb illegal immigration by detaining and deporting migrants before they embark on perilous journeys across the Mediterranean. This initiative highlights Libya's strategic role in regional migration management.
UK mosque set ablaze with 2 people inside. Police investigated suspect hate crime. It is the latest violent incident to be reported in politically charged British summer, during which incidents of Islamophobic and anti-Semitic hate have remained high, and this comes just days after a deadly attack outside a synagogue in Manchester.
George Russell wins the Singapore Grand Prix while McLaren secures the 2025 Constructors' title. George Russell secured a commanding victory at the Singapore Grand Prix, converting his pole position into a flawless win, whilst McLaren sealed their 2025 Teams Championship with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri finishing 3rd and 4th, and Max Verstappen completing podium in 2nd.
Bad Bunny mocks backlash to his Super Bowl halftime gig on SNL. Bad Bunny, el primero presentador de la nueva temporada de Saturday Night Live, tenía un mensaje para todos. He said this sentence, and then he said, "If you didn't understand what I just said, you had 4 months to learn." So it was his way to mock. And during his monologue, the musician didn't shy away from the backlash that stemmed from the recent announcement that he would be the next Super Bowl's halftime performer. In fact, he had a lot of fun with it, joking, "I think everybody's happy about it, even Fox News."
So this week in Deep Brew, we're talking about us. Us as in not us as in women in male-dominated fields, or as we like to call it, women-dominating fields. We're talking about women breaking barriers in fields that have long been male-dominated.
Yes, so we're gonna go through the recent developments that are highlighted by women. And this week there has been so many that we talked this morning, we were like, we have to do this, an insight into this, because there has been so many news about women, which we have to say them. So let's start. This week it was full of examples, as I said. So from politics to religion, sports, entertainment, travel, science, and even Nobel Prizes. So, for example, let's take politics. Japan has a chance of getting its first female prime minister. Sane Takaichi stepping into a system dominated by men, and it's going to be fascinating to see how she navigates it. She is not yet prime minister, but she has a very high chance of becoming one.
And speaking of something closer to home in the UK, the Church of England appointed its first female Archbishop of Canterbury, Sarah Mullally. And these are the 2 historic firsts that have happened in the same week. And they both show some progress and show how long it's taken women to reach these positions.
What, like it's hard?
And a lot of women have left us this week, unfortunately. For example, Jane Goodall, which was one of the first scientists to learn how to deal with chimpanzee and also with wildlife and to protect wildlife. And that was a very sad loss.
And let's not forget to mention women in STEM. Science is celebrating women too this week, especially today on the October 6th, 2025. The Nobel Peace Prize in medicine went to a trio of scientists, and one of them was a woman, Mary Ibranco. And their work on how the human system is regulated could revolutionize treatment for cancer and other diseases.
Yeah, and let's not forget health, who released new guidelines to prevent postpartum hemorrhage, tackling one of the leading causes of maternal death. And studies are offering new insight into women longevity. Progress is happening, but there's still a lot more to do.
It is very surreal to see women in fields that have been dominated by men for so long, especially for us, as we are a women run, women centered podcast. It's an inspiration to us and many other young girls to see that. For in like journalism, where there's the ratio of women to male journalists is a very vast one. And
Yeah,
yeah.
just to give some numbers, the proportion of women journalists fluctuates, with recent UK data showing it close to 50% in some reports. But the 2022 survey found only 41% women, which was the lowest figures in years. But numbers are getting equal now, like it's pushing, it's working. Even university, they offer scholarship for women in STEM now, and they want women to get into the subject and to work. What I always think is, nowadays we rely so much on other people dealing with our finances. Well, I think it's so important that we as women deal with our own finances, research the stock market, learn about it, focus on investing, focus on finance, because being independent, it's a thing that can save your life. It can. Like, never put yourself in a position where you cannot be independent, if you want to leave something. For example, there's so many women stuck in relationship that they cannot leave because they're not financially independent. Make sure you are always financially independent, because that will eventually save your life in the future. Just put money aside, create a business, do whatever, focus on your career, do whatever you need to do in order to be able one day to open the door and leave. Whatever can happen.
And take the leap, take the chance. You're gonna have so many people, especially us women, we're gonna have so many people telling us you cannot do this or no. I know you and I, when we stepped into journalism, I personally had so many people telling me, oh, you're a woman stepping into a journalism, it's going to be harder for you. And I decided to not listen, because it is my journey, my adventure, that I want to fight by myself. History has said, and history is proof, that many women have fought their battles on their own and turned out to be victorious. We women are stronger than we appear to be. We women are stronger than a lot of us can think about. So, you just have to woman up and show the world what you are supposed to and what you're capable of, which is a lot more than the world boxes you into.
Yes, and again, remember to be independent, because that's where the key is. That's where the key is. Men always think about finance and how they, it's a bit controversial to say, but sometimes I feel like they make us grow up with Disney movies, when in reality is, yes, you should focus on that. You should always be, romantic, kind, loyal, whatever, all the good qualities in Disney movies. But at the same time, you need to be realistic. You need to have a vision, you need to have goals, you need to know how to deal with money, because eventually you have your own future in your hands, and you are the only one that determines what kind of life you're going to have in the future. So this is important, and you need to be careful of this.
Don't wait for Prince Charming, because Prince Charming, if you read the storybook, was dumb enough to not even remember the girl. Be your own, get on the horse and just go into your own journey. Don't wait for Prince Charming to come knocking at your door, because he's going to take a long time,
But
and
and
he's
when
not.
it comes, it's good, like
Yeah.
it's an extra that it's always good in a woman's life, So we're not saying no to Prince Charming. We're saying yes, welcome Prince Charming, but welcome him while you are independent.
Yes.
Here is where it gets fun. Let's go into our funny headlines of the week.
Buffalo Beauty pageant in Thailand. In Chonburi, Thailand, water buffaloes were the star of an annual festival competing in both beauty pageants and races to celebrate the start of the harvest season. The event highlighted the cultural significance of these animals in Thai agriculture.
Rare, breathtaking red mushroom supercell cloud dazzles over North China. So, this massive red mushroom shaped supercell cloud were dominating the sky above Gen City in North China, Inner Mongolia, which was sharing the horizon with a brilliant rainbow in a stunning meteorological display.
Remember how we always say Florida has the craziest news? Long lost Spanish treasure worth $1 million discovered off Florida coast. So over 1,000 silver and gold coins valued for approximately $1 million have been uncovered off Florida's treasure coast. And these coins are dating back to 1715, and they were part of a Spanish fleet that sank during a hurricane. And some coins retain show visible mint marks, offering high valuable historical insights.
Did you know that placing a cucumber behind a cat causes them to leap into the air in fright? People have been sharing videos of cats' extreme reactions to cucumbers. Placing a cucumber apparently behind a cat when it's eating appears to startle them, causing some cats to jump and be frightened of it.
Bear surprises shoppers with unplanned grocery run in Arizona. A bear wandered into Fry's grocery store in Oro Valley, Arizona on Monday, causing a brief stir among shoppers. The bear roamed the aisles for a few minutes before exiting without causing any damage. Authorities responded promptly, evacuating the store, but the bear was not located afterwards. Maybe it was shocked by the prices in the grocery store and it just decided to run away later.
And then in Germany, there's new sausage vending machines. They're booming. Some of the machines sell 3 or 4 varieties of sausages alongside punnets of potato salads. And these machines are booming in Germany cities where shops are less likely to stay open for long hours. So you just put the machine and people will actually buy sausages from them.
So that's all for our episode number 5. And remember, women, this is your world and everyone else is just a part of it. Don't listen when somebody says no, don't listen to them, don't undermine yourself, and you've got this.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok of Chai Espresso Pod, and remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also comment your thoughts and tell us what you think of this week headlines and of our deep brew, and if you would like to see something more or for us to feature you with the news that you found. And see you next week for another brew. And
Until then, remember to
keep your chai hot,
your espresso strong and your takes even stronger. Thank you.